dangerous goods, because that is the beginning part, isn't it? What is dangerous goods? What do you think is dangerous goods? If you are to give a definition of a dangerous goods. So dangerous goods is something that is hazardous, isn't it? That is why they call it dangerous, which means any hazardous material or equipment or products, they make our dangerous goods. So as it is dangerous, it means it has hazards with it, isn't it? Like some of them are flammable. So we do have what we call 9 classes of dangerous goods, from class 1 up until we get to class 9. So our class 1 is made up of what we call explosives. So if you are transporting explosives, it means you are transporting class 1 of dangerous goods. Then our class 2 is made up of gases. As long as you are transporting gas, you know that you are transporting class 2 type of dangerous goods. Then if you are transporting flammable liquids, you know that that is your class 3. So class 3 is flammable liquids. If you are transporting flammable solids, you know that you are transporting class 4. Then if you are transporting oxidizers, you are transporting your class 5. If you are transporting toxic, you are transporting your class 6. If you are transporting radioactive material, you are transporting your class 7. If you are transporting corrosives, you are transporting your class 8. Then the class 9 is miscellaneous. So why are they classified into 9 classes? It's because of hazards that differs. So, like for example, explosives. Whenever you are transporting explosive, there is no exempted limits, because we do have what we call exempted quantities. Exempted quantities is applicable to a certain type of dangerous goods, where they can say, if you are transporting certain amount, no need for you to put what placards. But as long as it is explosives, there is no exemption, which means even if you are transporting something like this, but it's explosive, you need to put placards and you need to get a permit. So explosives on top of placards, on top of your DGR, your DGD, your dangerous goods declaration, on top of your tram card, transport emergency card, you still need to have a permit for transporting them. Then the storage area where you're gonna offload those explosives also need to have a permit, which means the driver has to verify if that permit is valid. So that is how these dangerous goods differ. So when it comes to petrol, we do have exemptive quantity. When it comes to solids as well, we do have exempted quantity, certain quantity that they can say that as you are carrying from 1,000 liters, now you need to make sure that you adhere to the what, to the dangerous goods regulation. But as it is dangerous goods is controlled by what we call SANS 10228. So it's South African National Standards number 10228. If you go through that SANS 10228, it tells you what is considered to be dangerous goods, what are the adherence that are expected to the person who's transporting such dangerous goods. So which means whatever that we are discussing today, it is oriented on the proper and safe transportation of these 9 classes of dangerous goods, whereby we will reference with the National Road Traffic Act, as you are drivers, isn't it? Which means you really understand the National Road Traffic Act. So we also reference some of the National Road Traffic Act. Then we also look at SANS 10228. We also look at SANS 10231. So these are meant to assist us in compliance whenever a dangerous goods is transported. So let me start with, so we know that when it comes to dangerous goods, as you guys as drivers, number one, you are required to have what? Your valid license in order for you to obtain a dangerous goods. And you need to be how many years and above? Because, eh? 25 and above. Which means if you are less than that, you are not allowed to get a dangerous goods. That is what the National Road Traffic Act says, isn't it? So you need to be above that. But if it is just normal goods, you need to be 21, isn't it? That is normal goods. If you are just transporting normal goods, not dangerous goods. Even if you go to the transport department to add your dangerous goods on a license, they first ask for your yes. If your age is less than the required, which means you cannot add it on your license, and which means you are not allowed to transport dangerous goods. That's what it means. So we start with you as a driver. Then the process of obtaining such dangerous goods, you need to have a PDP medical, which you can get by a department, traffic department. You take it to the doctor, they examine to check if you are physically and mentally what? Mentally fit. Then they declare, they give you, then you go back to the NADs and do the process. That is how you can obtain that dangerous goods. Then, not every vehicle is allowed to transport dangerous goods. So vehicles, they need to have an operator's card. It seems like a second disc. It is also like a disc if you look at it, but it's written operator's card. So an operator's card, it gives the vehicle that is going to transport dangerous goods authority to do that, which means you are not allowed to transport dangerous goods with a vehicle without a valid operator's card. So, and 24. Yeah, you can train, but you cannot edit on your, and you are not allowed to transport. I will display and you see the section. Even now, even if you go to eNetis online, you say dangerous goods, it tells you the age, isn't it? The age restrictions. Because remember, with the dangerous goods, they need a more of discipline, isn't it? I think you have seen it with the box bag issue. What happened there? So dangerous goods is very dangerous for sure. It's only that people, they wait for a serious accident, then that's when they can see that, oh, this thing is reality. So that is why, so they need mature minds who can transport such dangerous goods. But I will revert and show you how and where we get this information, isn't it? Uh-huh. So we are talking about the operator's card. So the vehicle must have an operator's card. And these operators cards, they came in two ways. We do have the one which is just FG. So that is normal what? Normal goods. Then we have the one with category D. That is for dangerous goods. Which means if you are conveying dangerous goods, your operator's card must be category D. If you have a vehicle with the G only, is not allowed that vehicle to carry what? Dangerous goods. Then the vehicle itself, as per now the National Road Traffic Act, it need to have fire extinguishers attached to the vehicle. And these fire extinguishers have to be at the trailer. We need to have at least what? Two, isn't it? 9 kgs, one on either side, isn't it? Then in the cab, at least one fire extinguisher. So fire extinguisher is meant for emergencies. When we have, let's say for example, we have flammables, fire starting, then we can use those we can use those fire what? Fire extinguishers. So fire extinguisher is a requirement to be attached on the vehicles. Then the vehicle also, if it is conveying dangerous goods, you need to have placards. So placards in front of the vehicle, there will be what we call a danger what? Diamond warning sign, isn't it? So it's normally orange in color. So they put that orange diamond. So we call it a danger warning diamond because it warns those who are approaching opposite the car to show that, hey, I'm carrying something dangerous. Then at the side, there must be placards. So placards must be at the side as well as at the rear. Then these placards has got 6 sections of it. There is a section with the UN number. So the UN number is simply an identification of what you are carrying. So this is international number recognition because whether you do cross border, they recognize that number because it's an international number. So they put in a UN number which classify what you are carrying or describe what you are carrying. Then there is what we call an operator's telephonic number. So the operator's telephonic number is the company number actually, the owner of the truck number, which must be 24/7 reachable. Then there is a specialist number, which must also be 24/7. So a specialist is a person who is specialized in such transportation of that what dangerous goods. They have information about it. They know what to do in case of emergency. So it's more, they have more knowledge, more broader experience. Are you getting it? So the specialist number has to be there. Then the other party, there will be a diamond, the big diamond, which we call it in a what, in a diamond risk. So it's a risk which shows you which class it has a number. These numbers that we are talking about, to say it's one or it will be written two. So you, according to the numbers, you need to be able to identify which class is it based on the number written on such what diamond. But some dangerous goods, they have what we call subsidiary risk. So you might find small two diamonds also attached on your placard. Those small two diamonds, we call them subsidiary risks because they also tell us which other classes are associated with that dangerous goods you are conveying. Which means now, you as a driver, before moving with your truck, which is loaded with dangerous goods, you must first of all do your K53 inspection. So K53, that is what you have been trained for, isn't it? You know what to check in regards to K53. Then additionally to K53, we now check the fire extinguishers if they are mounted. We now check if we have the correct placards mounted on the sides as well as the rear, and the diamond, the orange diamond is also attached at the front. Then you also check if the operator's card is of the right category. That is additionally to your inspection, plus the spill kit. Because as long as we are transporting dangerous goods, it's not guaranteed that we cannot have spillages. Here and there, we might have what? Some spillages. So if there is a spillage, we cannot, let's say we are in Polokwane, we call DSV, otherwise here, say, please, I have a spillage, come and assist. They cannot do that. So the driver has a spill kit attached to the truck. And this spill kit is as per type of dangerous goods that you are transporting. It is properly checked and is certified and verified. So the spill kit has to be also there that you can use to control some small spillages. Then the documents that a driver must have before you leave, we do have what you call a designated space. It's normally in an orange designated space. It's in orange. It's written designated, isn't it? The designated space is a space where you put your documents. And the documents that are required, number one is your license, definitely valid, which is valid and has the correct category in terms of category D or category G. Then you need to have your tram card. So the tram card is the transport emergency card. So tram card assists us with information on what must we do in case of emergency. So they give us possibilities of emergencies and the response that we can do on each every emergency. So if it is first aid emergency, it is also contained there. If it is fire emergency, they also explain what you must do. Spillage, they tell you what you must do. So that is a tram card. So a tram card is a document that is given to the driver prior transporting. So which means you might find that you need extra material or in your car or in your vehicle based on the tram card. Because the tram card otherwise will tell you that in case of medical emergency, you need to have an eye wash, which means now it is a requirement. If it says you need to have a non-retardant wetsuit, which means it's an additional requirement. So tram card also is there for your emergencies. So you must make sure that you have all that is required by the tram card so that you can respond for emergencies. So you might be surprised when a traffic officer stops you and say, can I see your torchlight? They will be saying now, why are they asking such? Because they find it on your tram card, that is a requirement. So whatever that is contained in your tram card is a requirement, you must have it. So it is an additional, again, in terms of inspection. Then you need to have your dangerous goods declaration. It's another document. So dangerous goods declaration is more like a declaration which says how many quantities of such dangerous goods are you conveying, the correct class of such dangerous goods you are conveying, the packaging group of such dangerous goods that you are conveying. That information is contained in what we call a dangerous goods declaration. So if they say you have 100,000 liters, then they find that you have 110,000 liters, it's an offense. If they declare that you have 20 liters, then they find you that you have more, it's an offense. So it has to be to exactly quantities as per DGD. So that is your dangerous goods declaration. So those documents are required to be in the what? In the what we call the designated space. So whenever they are asked, we don't check them in our pockets or wherever. They must just come straight from the designated space and give them straight to the traffic officer. If they see that you are taking them somewhere, it's another offense again. They can charge you for that because that designated space is designed for carrying those documents that are required. Are we getting it? So now, when it comes to dangerous goods, we do have this. We do have what we call an eco-signer. We do have what we call a co-signee. We do have what we call an operator. We do have you guys as a driver. We do have a qualified person. These are people who are involved in the conveyance of dangerous goods. So the co-signer, in simple words, is the sender. The person who is sending that what dangerous goods is a co-signer. Then the co-signee is the person who is receiving what such goods. So whenever we are talking about a co-signee, we are talking about the person that we are giving. So in other words, it's a client in this regard that you are giving that what dangerous goods became a co-signee. Then the operator is the owner of the transport which is transporting dangerous goods. So that owner is called an operator. So like you guys as DSV, you guys, you are not co-signers, isn't it? You are the operators because you receive these dangerous goods from the co-signer. Then you became the transporter, which is the automatically became the operator. Then, which means now the operator intermediate taking goods from the co-signer as well as to the co-signee. So the operator is the person who is also in charge of the loading. So you guys as drivers, you also represent the operator. So which means when loading these dangerous goods, you are also involved. So no driver is allowed to be absent when the dangerous goods is loaded in his or her truck. If you are absent, then it means you do it at your own risk. Don't be surprised when they stop you and say, no, but what is on the DGD is not what you have in the truck. And there is no way you are allowed to blame DSV for that because you must be there when it is loaded to check if definitely they have the correct sizes. Because remember, when we are doing the loading of these dangerous goods, we have what we call compatibility. And you guys, you are the ones who are trained, isn't it? Because unfortunately, your forklift drivers are not trained muchly on dangerous goods. What they just know, they just give an instruction of what to load. So you might find them mixing what must not be mixed. Because before we mix two different types of dangerous goods, we have to reference with the what compatibility chart. For example,